Welcome to the Minnesota Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within a week at strivescan.com/Minnesota. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters. And first up is Minot State University.
Hello, everyone. I'm assuming you can see my screen. My name is Sydney. I'm from Minot State, North Dakota, Minot State University. We are located in Minot, North Dakota. We have a motto, be seen, be heard, be you. I'm just going to take you through a few things about Minot State. So as I mentioned, we are located in Minot, North Dakota. We are the 4th largest city in North Dakota. Our population is about 47,000. With the community of Minot, we have over 1,000 events each year. If you don't know how far you are, you can kind of see it on the bottom where the map is. This is our campus, so you can see all the buildings that we have for our students. There's a lot of opportunities for you to come visit. I always tell students the best way to know if the college is right for you is just to visit to see if you're the right fit. We have face-to-face visits, so we have campus visits and some Saturday visits, so Monday through Friday, and then select Saturdays. We also have virtual admission appointments, which is a great way to get to know your counselor and maybe even meet with a faculty member. We have a cool event on the first Thursdays of every month. It's called Coffee with a Counselor, and you just get to drink coffee and chat with either me or a current student at Minot State, and then maybe a faculty member. Some fast facts about Minot State. So this is our student population. 68% are North Dakota students. 22% are students that are like you from Minnesota or even like California. We have 6% are Canadian and 4% are international students. 42% of our students borrow student loans. So that's with the financial aid, but we also have a cool automatic scholarship that's based off of your GPA and your high school ACT or SAT scores. We have students per college, so we have the College of Arts and Science, the College of Business, the College of Education and Health Sciences, and then we also have graduate programs. So if you complete your undergrad, you can definitely complete your graduate degree at Minot State. We have in-state tuition for all students. Currently, our tuition is at $7,896. You pay by term, so half in the fall and half in the spring. We are the 3rd most affordable university in the United States. We have over 100 areas of study, and you'll get to see those areas of study in a little bit. We have 14 NCAA Division II teams, so we have 7 men's and 7 women's teams. As I mentioned, you're going to see our programs. So these are all of our majors we have at Minot State. We have a lot of undergraduate programs, starting with like accounting. So if you're interested in any of the business classes, we have quite a bit of those. We have art, we have pre-professional track. So if you want to become a doctor, you can definitely do your pre-professional track at Minot State. So do pre-medicine and then go off to medical school. As I mentioned, we also have graduate programs, and then we also have a lot of degrees that are offered online. And you can check out those at askmsu.com/programs. One of the things that I always tell students is get involved. We have a lot of clubs and organizations at Minot State. So we have 65 clubs and organizations. One of our biggest one is MSU Life. So those 3 girls that are holding up the sign event tonight, they're at our Welcome Back bonfire, or it's like the Welcome to Minot State. And so they just have this big event where we roast marshmallows, play human size Connect 4 and cornhole. But we also give away a lot of prizes throughout the year. So we give away $25,000 worth of prizes. That could be an Apple Watch, maybe a flat screen TV. If you played a sport in high school, but if you don't want to play one in college, you can always do intramural sports. We have bowling, basketball, volleyball. We also have like daytime ones, so you can participate in like spike ball. But definitely be involved. And then if anyone has any questions, you can definitely message me. My email and phone number is provided. Just to mention again, definitely come and visit campus, either face-to-face or virtually, and then take a look at Minot State by going to askmsu.com. So thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sydney. Our next presentation is from North Dakota State University.
Thank you, Matt. While I am sharing my screen, I'm going to introduce myself quickly. My name's Andrew Wolf, and I am one of NDSU's Twin Cities admission counselors. I specifically cover St. Paul and down into Rochester. So if anyone's joining us from those areas tonight, I would be your admission counselor. So the next 6 minutes are going to be a very quick run through the NDSU experience. We'll jump right into it. North Dakota State University is a 4-year public Division I university. We have about 13,000 students on our campus. I looked at student enrollments of our panelists and their institutions before we got started. So I think of us 6, NDSU is the largest, but typically we would call ourselves a mid-sized university, just to give you some perspective there. And we are located in Fargo, North Dakota. If you remember the map that Sydney showed in her presentation, we're kind of in the bottom right-hand corner of the state. For academics, we have over 100 different majors. Among the most popular would be engineering, architecture, nursing, pharmacy, and business. I would also throw agriculture in there. We have a lot of unique programs in that field. We have a 16-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. That doesn't mean all your classes are only going to have 16 students, of course, but they tend to be on the smaller side. The majority of our classes have fewer than 40 students. And we emphasize hands-on learning, so we want you to be doing the things at NDSU that you're going to be doing in your career someday, rather than just memorizing a textbook for 4 years. On the residence life and dining side, our first-year students are required to live on campus. The stats backing that up are actually that GPAs tend to be 1 full point higher when you're living on campus during your first year. That's the difference between a C average and a B average, so that's pretty sweet. And you have a lot of say in the process. You can choose your residence hall, room, and roommate. You also have a choice between 2 different meal plans, and that gives you access to 3 unique dining centers on campus. There's also a lot to do at NDSU and in Fargo. There's over 300 student clubs and organizations. Those, of course, vary. Those can be, academic, so something tied to your major, but also just special interests, cultural, religious groups, anything that you want to participate in. As part of your student fees, tickets to athletic events, band, choir, concerts, theater performances, those are all included. And same goes for your wellness center membership, and that also includes the aquatic side of things. So lots to do on campus, definitely not a suitcase campus, as they're sometimes called when you're going home every weekend. There's definitely a lot to occupy you in Fargo and at NDSU. So I've mentioned the community a few times. We're right on the eastern edge of North Dakota, so right across the Red River is Moorhead, Minnesota. If you take the whole metropolitan area together, there are over 240,000 people living in Fargo-Moorhead, which is usually a little bigger than people think. It never feels that big. And, just with where NDSU is located in the city, we're pretty close to downtown, so there's lots of cool local shops and restaurants to explore. Also lots of green space. Fun outdoor excursions are always possible near the Red River. And if you're looking way ahead, we were voted as having the hottest job market in the US for 2020, and we were also named the best city to start your career in. All right, so that's the fun stuff, and now we get to the even more exciting process things. So you can apply to NDSU online. It's a mobile-friendly application, and basically what we look for is a 2.75 GPA, and we want to make sure you're taking your core high school classes. We don't require a test, and we don't have an application fee. All right, Andrew, what's this going to cost me? Roughly $20,000 if you are a Minnesota resident or graduating from a Minnesota high school. This would be your first year costs. Keep in mind this, what you're seeing here is the current year cost, 2020, 2021. And so I would probably advise you to add a couple thousand onto this, just when you start adding in things like books and a parking pass, and then the joys of higher education, just fees increasing from year to year. So about 22,000 though, I think is a good ballpark number for your first year. And of course, there are a lot of different ways to pay for that. I won't go into too much depth on this scholarship slide. There's a lot going on here, and this table is subject to change from year to year. But the two things to keep in mind are that on the one hand, we have guaranteed merit-based scholarships. So those are just based off of your GPA or your GPA plus your test score if you were able to take it. Whichever one gives you the better scholarship, that's the one you would get at NDSU. And then we also offer what are called named scholarships, which are basically just competitive awards. So you fill out a general scholarship app, and that puts you in the running for all of those. Finally, what's next? Sign up for a virtual tour or come onto campus. We're offering in-person tours. Apply to NDSU once August comes around if you're going into your senior year, and ask questions. Best way to do that is to contact me. My phone number and my email address and a gloriously outdated photo of me are all on your screen. So that's my 6 minutes. Thanks again, everyone, and have a great night.
Great, thank you so much. And next up is Northland College.
Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great night. So as I share my screen here, I'll let you know I'm Whitney. I am a Northland alum, and now I'm the Director of Admissions at Northland College in Ashland, Wisconsin. Northland was founded back in 1892, so we've been around for quite a while. We are a small 4-year private institution. What do I mean when I say small? We have 600 students on campus. And we're located in Ashland, Wisconsin, which, if you're not familiar, is right on Lake Superior. If you look at the top of that orange arrow, that's where we're located. So about an hour east of Duluth and 3 hours or so from the Twin Cities. Ashland, Wisconsin is a nice small town of about 8,200 people. You can see in the foreground here, we've got our campus and then the town of Ashland. And we're, like I said, right on Lake Superior, less than a mile from the shoreline, a short walk down to the lake. And we are also close to the Apostle Island. So if you've ever been to Madeline Island, that's right in our backyard. And we are surrounded by about 1 million acres of national forest. We have over 40 different academic programs. I will say if you're interested in environmental studies or environmental sciences, Northland might be a great fit for you. I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a minute. We're a Division III school. We have 16 different D3 athletic teams on campus, and just over a third of our student population are student athletes, many of them dual sport athletes as well. So that unique perspective I was talking about, Northland's mission is actually focused on the environment, sustainability, and social justice. So that's interwoven into everything we do. If that is what you're interested in, Northland might be the perfect fit for you. Our community is very tight-knit, very laid back, and very focused on the connection to the natural world and the outdoors. So being located by Lake Superior in the National Forest, there are tons of opportunities to get outside and enjoy our surroundings. We also really lean into that location in terms of our academic experience. So we use those spaces as our living laboratories outside of the classroom. We're a very hands-on, very experiential college across all of our different academic programs. So regardless of what you decide to study, you're going to be applying those real-world things in a regular basis. You're not just going to be sitting in a classroom. If you are in a classroom, though, our average class size is just 15 students. So you get to know your fellow students and professors on a very personal basis. And our largest class room holds about 40 students. You would never have a class larger than that. You won't be lost in a lecture hall, and you can ask as many questions as you need to of our faculty. Because of our personal nature, we have some really great outcomes. So this is a fun picture of some graduates and professors biking to one of the first events on graduation day. It's a great tradition at Northland. And 89% of students who start at Northland graduate from Northland in 4 years or less, many of whom with a double major. And 92% of our recent grads are either in graduate school or in their career within 6 months of graduation. I encourage students to visit as many of the college campuses that they're looking at as possible. It's one of the best ways to get a feel for whether or not you'll enjoy being at that school or that institution for the next 4 years. Northland has some great options for visiting. We have an online preview day every month, and we're doing in-person visits Monday through Saturday on an individual basis. So just you and your visiting group get to take a tour around campus, meet with admissions, potentially talk with a coach. We do have an admitted student day coming up at the end of March as well. So if you're an admitted student, I encourage you to attend that week's worth of events. If you're a senior, it's not too late to apply for 2021. It is free to apply and we are test optional. Basically, fill out our application. It takes about 15 minutes to fill out. Send us your transcript and we will review you for admission. If you are a rising senior, our application usually opens at the end of the summer, so you can mark your calendar for a good time to apply. And Northland has so many scholarships and financial aid opportunities available for students that it makes it a great value. We have academic merit scholarships of at least $19,000 per year for every admitted student. And those range up to full tuition. So there are a lot of great options depending on your academic record. Also, we encourage every student to fill out the FAFSA to see what other aid they can qualify for. As a private institution, we can award additional forms of aid like work study. We award everyone who sends us their FAFSA at least $1,000 in work study per year, regardless of your financial need. If you have other questions, I encourage you to reach out to us at admissions@northland.edu or check out one of our social channels to learn a little bit more. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you, Whitney. Next up is St. Olaf College.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Roy Katie Kimball. I use he, him, his pronouns, and I am an assistant dean of admissions here at St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota. So St. Olaf College is a small liberal arts school that's about 45 minutes away from the Twin Cities in Northfield, Minnesota. One great thing about our small community is only about 50% of students at St. Olaf actually come from Minnesota. We have a national reach, and we also have students from over 100 countries around the world as well. Also, being 45 minutes away from the Twin Cities, we are a little bit removed, which means, like was talked about earlier, we're not a suitcase campus where people leave every weekend. So there's a lot of great community going on. So St. Olaf has 85 majors, programs, and concentrations, but I would say that our specialties are we are world renowned in both music education as well as STEM. We send more students per capita than any other school abroad, and many students actually study abroad more than once during their St. Olaf College career. Also, as I said, we're world renowned for our music programs, especially choral and instrumental music. And over a third of the student population is involved in some sort of music, whether they're a music major, a biology major, or something else entirely. So St. Olaf takes community very seriously, and we have a residential requirement at St. Olaf, which means that over 95% of our students live on campus. We're actually building brand new honor houses and a residential hall that will be opening in the fall of 2022. I think something that really demonstrates St. Olaf's commitment to community is that we only have one large dining hall on campus, which means that faculty, staff, and students are always breaking bread with each other, talking about classes, and really trying to build that community aspect while you're away from home. Also, we want you to bring your passions to St. Olaf with you. We don't want you to focus too narrowly. If you're interested in music, if you're interested in athletics, we want you to bring your full self to your St. Olaf education in some of our 200 student clubs and organizations or 23 Division III varsity athletics. If you're not into varsity athletics, we also have different levels such as intramural sports. We also have club sports that compete against other colleges, but just at a little bit less than a varsity level. St. Olaf is committed to meeting 100% of financial need, but we're one of the few colleges that meets 100% of financial need and also offers generous merit aid scholarships. These are a few of our different decision deadlines. The left column is when our decisions are due for these different areas, and then you'll get an answer back in that right column. 79% of students will receive some sort of need-based financial aid for a St. Olaf education. And as I said, we also offer merit scholarships, and almost all students receive some sort of merit scholarship between $17,000 and $25,000 per academic year. A little bit about what you get out of your St. Olaf education. 82% of our students graduate in 4 years or less, and 97% are employed or involved in grad school 9 months post-graduation. We actually send more graduates to grad school than most colleges nationwide. I think we're ranked 11th for students who go on to grad school after undergrad. And that's also because we have internship and research experiences. 92% of students will either research with faculty, do internships in the cities or abroad, and get adequate and really tailored experiences through our Career Center to make sure that you have a positive experience, not only while you're here at St. Olaf, but for the rest of your life. So if you'd like more information, again, my name is Roy Katie Kimball, Assistant Dean for the Western Twin Cities suburbs and the Western United States. I would love to hear from you, and we would love to have you as always. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And next up is Trinity University.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Yacino, and I'm an admissions counselor at Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas. So a little bit more of a journey than some of the other schools that we've heard from, but I'm super excited to share that with you guys tonight. Got my timer with me to keep me honest, so we'll move on. I'm going to share in this presentation 5 ways in which Trinity might look a little bit more distinct than other liberal arts institutions that you might be looking at. So the first thing that is really kind of true to who we are is our size. We are a small private liberal arts institution. We have just about 2,500 undergraduate students with a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So this means in any one of your classes, you may have between 12 to 15 students alongside you. And this obviously creates really great relationships between you and faculty members. Our faculty are nationally ranked. The Wall Street Journal did a top 10 ranking a couple of years ago on top faculty, and we were ranked number 6 in the nation and number 1 in Texas. And the criteria that they were looking at were accessibility, so your relationships with your professors, their teaching styles, all of that. And then secondly, the research that they were doing, both the volume and the quality. And I think that says a lot about our professors, that they are the best at both. They really genuinely love what they do. They're here because they love to teach, but they're also the top in their field. They're all doing cutting edge research, and we are definitely undergraduate focused. And so they don't have grad students that they're pulling from. So if you're really interested in undergraduate research, this could be a great opportunity for you because they're going to be pulling from you. Next thing that makes us really distinct is our academic offering. So we are definitely liberal arts at our core. We really believe that you develop a certain set of skills when you study in this way, and you're asked to wear lots of different hats and study things that are outside of what you might be majoring in. It makes you an excellent communicator, both verbally and through your writing. You're able to think critically and creatively, to be really flexible. So you just walk away with this excellent set of skills, regardless of what you're hoping to pursue, kind of wherever your path takes you. So that's definitely what we believe in our philosophy. But we also on our campus have 5 really strong pre-professional programs. And that combination is kind of unique. So having an accredited school of business or an ABET accredited school of engineering on a liberal arts campus is just kind of strange, but it's something that we're really proud of, to have these really powerhouse programs on a liberal arts campus. We do not do program-based admissions. So when you're filling out applications, you may have to rank kind of the things that you're interested in studying. And while that's fantastic, we love learning about you through your application, you're not tied to that. And that's really nice. At other institutions, you're applying to their school of business. And it may be a little bit more complicated if you later change your mind, but at Trinity, you're able to study for your first 2 years. You don't declare your major until second semester sophomore year. So you're really encouraged to just try things and dip your toes in lots of different areas. And this leads to a lot of students ending up with double majors. About 1/3 of our students will have 2 majors by the time they graduate because they found more than one thing that they're passionate about. And you're absolutely encouraged to do that. Sometimes we see combinations that go hand in hand. I'm a Trinity alum and I studied Spanish and human communications, so very much humanities, language, but sometimes you see really funky combinations that you don't think fit together. And we have a really excellent way, our faculty, of guiding you through how to merge those 2 things. And my favorite example is a friend of mine who was this brilliant computer science student, but also loved ancient Greek. And the summer after his freshman year, he did research with one of our classics professors and was able to design an algorithm that was meant to decode ancient Greek characters that were kind of hard to decipher. So right off the bat, it was this personalized research approach that helped him merge the things that he loves. The next thing that really makes us distinct are our resources. So like I started with, we're a small institution, but we really do have big school resources and we're very fortunate. I think our students really feel the weight of that because it's constantly meaning that we're investing in them, investing in fantastic faculty and in renovations in the campus and really strong merit aid. So I think our students really do feel the weight of this and reap the benefits of it as well. Next up is our location. I love combinations when you have a small residential community where it's a very familial campus and then you have a big city right in its backyard because I feel like you get the best of both worlds. And Trinity definitely has that going for it. We are a small school. You will be known on our campus, but you also have San Antonio, which is the 7th largest city to explore. And I think there's a lot of benefits that come with that. One is just fun, getting to go off campus and explore. We have professional sports teams. I love like the traveling Broadway shows that come. We have the Majestic Theater, amazing food, culture, diversity, but then also in a practical sense, in terms of internships, you don't have to wait until the summer or travel a far distance to go and pursue an internship or a job. You can really squeeze that right into your daily schedule. So in both, I guess, fun and professional senses, it's really great to have San Antonio in our backyard. Then lastly, the next thing that makes us distinct is our diversity. This is something that we pay a lot of attention to, and I mean diversity in every sense of the word. This is something that we really prioritize and think that contributes a lot to our campus community. Then lastly, I'll just share a little bit of information. We're on 3 different application platforms. It's free to apply. And we have 2 different dates that you can pay attention to as far as when to apply. I always recommend that you apply early. Everywhere you go, it'll give you more time and help you make your decisions later on. That is it. You're welcome to contact me or use the email address listed below if you would like to talk with a current student. Thanks so much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sarah. And our final presentation for this session is from Worcester Polytechnic Institute.
Thank you very much. I want to preface this by saying thank you guys all for joining us tonight. I have my puppy in here who's recovering from her spay just recently as well. So if you hear something in the background, that's probably what's going on. So my name is Ian Capizzoli. I'm an admissions counselor at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm just going to get right into everything so that we can cover as much as possible about WPI today. So our undergraduate population is about 4,700 students overall, about 40% of whom are women, 14% students of color, about 9% international. We do have over 50 different degree programs available at WPI, but like a lot of Polytechnic institutes, most of our students are studying the STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and about 60% of our students are engineers in particular. We do have 12 different engineering disciplines available, so that's a really popular program for us, along with things like computer science, data science, and then all of the traditional sciences as well, biology, chemistry, mathematics, all that good stuff. With that said, about 20% of our students do enroll undecided every year. So you don't have to have that figured out right away when you apply to WPI. We have what we call institutional acceptance, just meaning when you're admitted to the institution, you're admitted to the institution as a whole, not just one program or another. Now, the speech bubbles below that point there are kind of what we look for in students at WPI. We want to see that you enjoy working in teams, you're creative and curious, all of those things down there sort of make up our typical student here. So if you see any of those that apply to you, definitely check us out. Now, you'll see some things over here on the right that might not be, totally traditional for the other schools that we're hearing from tonight as well. So, along with having all of those majors, we focus on project-based learning. That's a really big part of WPI and of what we instituted 50 years ago called the WPI plan. Another part of that WPI plan is our very unique grading structure. We only have a couple of grades available, A, B, and C, so we don't have pluses or minuses. We're a very collaborative institution. We really want our students working together. When you have pluses or minuses, it means there's curving going on. So we have those flat grades instead. And then you'll see that fourth grade there, that's an NR, and that stands for no record. And that's essentially exactly what it sounds like. If you don't earn a C in a class at WPI, that class doesn't show up on your transcript. It doesn't affect your financial aid or anything like that. It's like you were never in the class in the first place. So the whole idea is to sort of give our students a little bit of academic freedom in what they want to study within their degree program. We want you to take some academic risks and maybe get one of those, NRs along the way. And the way that we do that is also by having no prerequisites in our curriculum. So if you want to go ahead and take a 400 level class right off the bat as a first year student, you can absolutely do that at WPI. No one's going to stop you from doing so. You do have an academic advisor at your disposal who's sort of your first line of defense. They might say, yeah, you're totally ready for that class. They might say, pump the brakes, maybe take that intro level class first before moving on. But in the end, the decision is really up to you as the student to decide how much you want to challenge yourself and which courses you want to take. Now, we do have really good career results from WPI with this kind of different structure as well. Average starting salary of the class of 2019 was just about $72,000 per year. That is just 1 year post-graduation, and that is actually an average of every major at WPI. We do have some that make less as on average and some that make more on average. And if you want to see what those are, you can actually just Google WPI CDC stats. That will show you our Career Development Center, their career report from the last 5 years. That shows you the results by major. They give you an average of what folks are making, who they're working for, and if they decided to go to graduate school, where they're going. So that'll give you a really good idea of some of the results there. Now, another really important part of WPI, of course, is Worcester. So I know that looks like it says Worcester or Worcester. I promise you it's pronounced Worcester. And we are a college town first and foremost. So we're the second largest city in the New England area, just behind Boston, just ahead of Providence, Rhode Island. And every year, about 38,000 college students call Worcester home. So we're definitely your quintessential Northeast college town. With those 12 colleges in the area, we do also offer cross-registration, meaning that if one of those schools has a course that you'd like to take and WPI doesn't have that class, you can register for the class at that institution at no additional cost. So again, really opening up those options for the courses that you might want to take along with your degree program. I like to say that Worcester is sort of an hour away from everything. You can get to other great Northeastern cities like Boston, Providence, Hartford, Connecticut in just about an hour's drive. If you're a skier or a snowboarder, there's really solid skiing and snowboarding within an hour's drive, probably about 45 minutes. And then if you're a beach person as well, or if you've never been to the Atlantic Ocean, it's just about an hour and a half away in coastal Connecticut, coastal Rhode Island. So not too far at all. Now, with that said, there is a really vibrant campus life at WPI as well. So we are a residential campus. We have students living with us right here in Worcester. First year housing is guaranteed. Technically, all 4 years of housing are not guaranteed, but we've never run into a situation where someone who's gotten their paperwork and everything in on time hasn't been able to get housing on campus. We are an NCAA Division III school as well, and we also offer club and intramural sports. So there's kind of something for everybody there if you want to be involved athletically. We also have over 250 different clubs and organizations that really sort of run the gambit from your professional organizations, Greek life organizations, performing arts organizations as well. We do actually have a humanities and arts requirement that every student has to take at WPI too. So many of those organizations are kind of bolstered by that as well. So there's lots of different things to get involved in on campus. And a big part of the WPI experience is typically studying abroad as well. So we have these two project experiences in your junior and senior year respectively, called the IQP and the MQP. The MQP is the senior year experience, and that's sort of your senior year capstone project, pretty par for the course there. The IQP is a bit of a different project. We like to get our students involved in interdisciplinary studies, and many students decide to go to one of our over 50 project centers all around the world for that project. And then lastly, quickly getting into our admissions and financial aid information. We have our deadlines for applying here. We offer both early decision and early action, as well as regular decision a little bit later in the year. We are on the common application as well. There's no application fee to apply to WPI, so definitely nothing to lose by submitting your application. And then lastly, we have some scholarship and financial aid information for you here. About 97% of our students do receive financial assistance. We offer both need-based aid and merit-based aid. And we are one of the best colleges where students go on to earn the most money and get a really good return on their investment. So thank you guys very much again for joining us tonight. I think I'm just about out of time here, and I can't wait to answer your questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our presenters. Now we have some time for Q&A. So I will get us started with a question for all of our presenters. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go back to the beginning of our presenters.
My advice would definitely to tour campuses. That way you know which campus will be the right fit for you. It's a way for you to see campus, even to talk to a faculty member and maybe a current student that's attending it. Best way to find out is just to visit a campus.
I would certainly echo visiting campuses. That's such a good way to just figure out if it's the place for you or not. To say, I guess, something different than that, though, just very practically, I would recommend starting like a Word document or an Excel sheet. And every time you apply to a college, just finding all of the deadlines for that college. So whether that's the application deadline, the scholarship deadline, the housing deadline, just get them all in one place so that you're not missing out on those opportunities down the line.
I would say don't rule any school out based on cost or sticker price, because so many schools award generous scholarships and financial aid. Until you get your financial aid offer from a school, you really don't know what it will cost. So I encourage folks not to rule out schools based on cost, and just think about the academic setting and the community. And if there's a variety of academic programs that appeal to you, you'll find the one that's the right fit within your first year or so. So think about the community and just the academic setting.
Yeah, so as I said in my presentation, probably most of the colleges that you'll visit want you to bring all of your passions to bear on the community that you're joining. So definitely don't be afraid to share that with admissions officers. And I would also say, make sure to show interest. Colleges are always interested in students that are interested in attending. So we love to talk to excited students who are ready to come to college.
Yeah, I'll add on to that. Talk to us. I think we love interacting with current students. Also, if it would be helpful for you to talk with current students or faculty members, ask for those things. More than likely, they're going to be delighted to share their experiences with you, and it's going to be really helpful for you in seeing if this is going to be a good fit for you. So engage with us.
Yeah, that's definitely my biggest point as well. Engage with the schools that you're interested in, whether it's sending us an email throughout the year, letting us know any awards that you've won, any cool stuff that you're up to, projects that you're working on, you're really proud of. We love to know all of that stuff, and all of it can really come into account when we're kind of making those decisions as well. One other thing that I'll say, just to be different, add something else into, is just that you definitely need to definitely do your research, on the schools that you might be interested in. You might only be interested because you heard something from somebody else. Make sure you know the school that you're looking at as well as possible, before making that enrollment decision.
Excellent, thank you. And our next question, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So my favorite tradition on campus is Welcome Weekend. We have an event called Rec Fest, and it's where all the new students and the current students that are attending Minot State come, and they get to take part in all these fun activities. So we have like food around the world. So it's in our old main parking lot, and you get to eat food from different countries. And then we have fun activities like there's a dunk tank, so you can dunk the president of Minot State, our student affairs dean. There's all these different types of activities, and the students just love it. And you get free apparel that you get to collect over the years. So that's one of my favorite traditions.
For NDSU, I would say Saturdays during the fall are always fun to watch the football team go tailgating at the Fargo Dome. It's kind of something the whole community rallies around, and the team has won 8 of the last 9 FCS Division I national championships. So it's definitely a fun place to be and a fun team to cheer on.
My favorite tradition at Northland College is our outdoor orientation. So we've been doing outdoor orientation experiences as part of our Welcome Week and arrival to campus since 1975. So it's one of the oldest outdoor orientation programs in the country. And it's so fun to get out and experience new things, learn more about this region, and meet other incoming students and bond with them over canoeing or kayaking or rock climbing, whatever you might choose to try out.
So as I said before, St. Olaf is synonymous with music. We have a record label as well as 3 ambassador ensembles that tour around the world. They come back together in December for our annual Christmas festival, which is a large concert that takes place over 4 nights with hundreds of attendees. And it's been going on since the early 1900s, and it's the hottest ticket in town. So that's probably my favorite tradition.
That sounds awesome. Mine is around a similar time of year. So we have something that's called Christmas on Oakmont, and it's very music centered. There's always a big concert. It's open to the San Antonio community. And then afterwards, there's this tradition where the president and the department heads have houses that are right next to campus, and we'll go from house to house, and they'll have treats waiting for us. So we'll get to eat together. And it's open not only to Trinity, but to all of San Antonio. So it's this really great time of togetherness and a reminder that no one is too important or too high up to just be together and just share, great memories together. So.
I think a great campus tradition at WPI is that of Earl Bridge. So we have a bridge on campus that goes over one of the main routes into campus that students kind of drive under when they come in to move in. And they also walk over the bridge in one direction as a freshman student right at the end of orientation to kind of welcome them to campus. And then they walk over the bridge in the opposite direction as a senior student when they're going to graduation. So it's a really nice, symbolic way to sort of start and end your journey at WPI. We do have a lot of traditions though. We actually have a pseudo secret society that helps maintain those traditions as well. So definitely lots of stuff to get involved in every year.
Awesome. Thank you all for your answers. We are just about out of time for this session. So I want to say thank you for joining us. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. In about a week, you can find this session's recording and other sessions at strivescan.com/Minnesota. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evenings.